Gasper, what a pleasure it is to join you again, and congratulations on your opening in sunny and beautiful Barcelona. I am in freezing New York. The snow is outside my window, and thinking very hard about your show and what it means to somebody like me. Thinking about how exciting it must be for the people of Barcelona, how exciting it must be for people who are interested in digital art and digital media as well as painting and sculpture. And sort of trying to think my way through a couple of philosophical issues that are posed by your show. And let me put it this way. There's one way to look at this show, which is, wow, here come some spectacular paintings, and right next to them will be digital images of flamingos that you could see on your device, or that will be conjured by brilliant programmers. And all during that time when we were preparing the catalog essay for the show, you would be firing off these images of your paintings to me. And you were saying, well, as fast as the programmers are working, you were working fast too, sort of in a wonderful kind of race to see whether you could produce as many images or whether you could sort of top the speed with which, of course, computers are famous for their speed. That's what we love them for, right? We want them to process things quickly. We want them to create worlds really fast. So one way to look at the show, I guess, is this. It's a marriage of technology and classical art, as you call it, classical media, painting. It would show when one leaves off, where the other can take off and sort of afford an enhanced experience, an enhanced reality. In other words, here's painting and what it can show in terms of the real, in terms of truth. And here is the digital world. Here is the world of these flamingos, the world of what you call the parallel reality, or enhanced reality, the world where you sort of you take the image and you make it three-dimensional and you offer an illusion so gripping, so fantastic that it's so deceptive, I could even say, that it's going to trick you into thinking that it is the real. Now, painting also has a long tradition of being in sort of an illusion. One-point perspective is an illusion, right? Mimesis and realism is sort of an illusion as well. I like to look at the show from a different point of view, not so much as a marriage of computers and painting, but as a way in which computers test painting, and especially a way in which the world of painting and the truth of a painting tests the world of the computer. Now, I'm a great believer in the truth of art. I love a phrase of Cézanne, I think it was in one of his letters, where he says, I will show you the truth in painting. Now, Cézanne came to that through a kind of doubt. He doubted his ability to create the illusion of the mountain. He nonetheless believed in the medium he believed in the medium as a way of conveying truth. The same way that Keats felt that beauty is truth, truth's beauty, that is all you know on earth and all you need to know. These are the artists, poets as well, you could say playwrights too if you want to use some of the great ones, and certainly Shakespeare is right up at the top of that, who, though creating an illusion, will offer truth. Then, of course, we know very well that the world of the computer is offering a truth of its own in many ways, a recursive truth, a truth of tremendous processing power, a truth of tremendous ability to trick us into thinking that we're someone else or somewhere else. So the key to this one in many ways was when you sent me the music files, because I thought the music files were really, really fascinating. And what I locked onto with the music files wasn't so much the rhythm of the beat, it wasn't so much the melodic side of it, it was to a certain degree the way in which the music reflects the intersection of machine and man. That's a big part of that type of music, I know. But also it was when you really have a chance to listen to that music, much of it is monotonal. In other words, it takes that one tone and explores it. Now, there are a lot of composers I know who like to do that. George Gershwin, for instance, I'm going to just go to the piano for this. George Gershwin had an A flat in the Rhapsody in Blue that he came back to and back to and back to, almost as though he were exploring it. Here it is. Almost like he wants to find out what are the real qualities of that tone. What makes that tone in A flat here's one of the most famous things that Bach ever did, and the tone is not A flat, it's C. C, that C, that C. I want to hear that C, almost as though the piano tuner were in the room, and I would want to make sure that that C was in perfect tune. What makes that C real? What is the truth of that C? So here's one, and it was written by one of my neighbors, actually, Philip Glass. Lives right around the corner from where my house is. And this is the beginning of a piece, and listen to the way in which he explores the monotone of F. Pieces like this are musical crack. You could just get into them and they're addictive, they're obviously hypnotic. But when I'm playing it, and certainly when I'm playing it on my instrument or on a better instrument or on a different instrument, what strikes me about it is the tone, the values of the tone, the ways in which the tone will change just because I'm using another piece of wood, another piano, I'm playing in a different mood. The C will change, but the truth of the C, which is what I think the composer Philip Glass was after when he did this monotone, the truth of the C is in many ways the truth of what music can offer. So what is the truth of music, or what is the truth of great painting? And maybe what is the truth of a computerized flamingo as well? What is the truth of a novel or a great play? Is it a parallel truth? As you suggest, actually, in some of your studio notes to me, you were talking about the parallel reality of it. What if somebody walks into your exhibition and says, well, I prefer the flamingo. It's more real to me than the paintings over there, which seem to me more illusionistic or more false. Some other people will walk to the window and say, there's the real, there's the truth. And all art is going to be in one way or another, some kind of illusion, some kind of fiction. I disagree with that point of view. I think there is a great truth to art. I think there's a tremendous truth, for instance, to the music I just played, or to the Bach as well. It's a permanent truth about the note C, permanent truth about the color blue, if you want to do that. Or and I'm sure at some point somebody's going to say, well, so too is this three-dimensional flamingo is going to be something permanent about a flamingo that even no flamingo, in a Platonic sense will ever convey. But I hope that this little video, I hope it spurs a debate among some of your visitors to the exhibition, and maybe between the two of us, and maybe between us and the people who are creating, the engineers who are creating the flamingos as well. Who has access to these truths? Which part of this exhibition perhaps conveys the truth? And can they work together, or is there a sort of a choice that has to be made? In any event, I hope these remarks will give some of you a chance to have a good conversation, and I'm very, very grateful for being included in your exhibition. Thank you.